Monsieur le Président, l'utilisation du glyphosate et d'autres herbicides continue d'avoir un impact négatif sur notre environnement, notre biodiversité et notre économie. Les gouvernements libéraux et conservateurs successifs ont payé des millions de dollars chaque année aux grandes entreprises forestières pour qu'elles épandent du glyphosate sur nos forêts publiques. Qui en profite, Monsieur le Président? Certainement pas les gens ordinaires du Nouveau-Brunswick qui payent la facture. Le ministre de l'Environnement est responsable de l'administration et de l'application de la loi sur le contrôle des pesticides du Nouveau-Brunswick. Les grandes entreprises forestières ne peuvent épandre du glyphosate que si le ministre de l'Environnement leur délivre un permis en vertu de cette loi. Le ministre de l'Environnement a-t-il signé les permis d'épandage de glyphosate cette année? Oui ou non?
Minister of Natural Resources and Energy Development.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the question from the member opposite. Minister of Environment or the Department of Environment signs a variety of different permits for pesticides, herbicides, et cetera, they assign those permits according to the regulations from the governing bodies that have determined that they are acceptable for use in the concentration levels with which that they are applied. To give the member opposite an example of that, when we appeal to the Department of Environment for a permit, we are well within the guidelines, and that's why the Department of Environment has the ability to sign that off. To give you an example, adverse human health effects are certainly there with the misuse of a herbicide in the situation with glyphosate. That's at about 8.5 kilograms per hectare of application use. To give the member opposite some context, we apply that 1.7 hectares or kilograms per hectare on a once every 30-year rotation. So the Department of Environment is able to do that because we're well within the guidelines associated to the permitting requirement.
The member for Memramcook-Tantramar.
The Minister of Environment was such an ardent defender of glyphosate, I'm surprised he didn't want to get up today, but it seemed like maybe he was even working for Monsanto, seemed like he worked for Monsanto and not for the New Brunswick government. But I'll take that as a yes. And we've seen time and time again that pesticides are considered safe until they aren't. They point to other pesticides, but there's another way, Mr. Speaker. Quebec banned spraying glyphosate-based herbicides in 2001 and have successfully managed their forests without the use of herbicides for the past 2 decades. Their system creates more jobs and is better for the environment. The Minister of Public Safety was elected in 2018 on a promise to ban glyphosate spraying. It leaves me to wonder if he has abandoned those views in pursuit of a cabinet post. Is the Minister of Public Safety still opposed to spraying glyphosate on Crown lands, or does he agree with the Environment Minister that glyphosate is environmentally benign?
The Minister of Environment and Local Government.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. You know, there's a lot to unpack here. You know, the member from the Green Party basically accused me of being in bed with big business. I think that crosses a parliamentary line, Mr. Speaker. My job as the Minister of the Environment is to actually rely on the scientists and the science of herbicides, which is approved by Health Canada, Mr. Speaker, as one of the most benign and effective herbicides that there is on the market today, Mr. Speaker. I do have to point out, though, that more glyphosate is used on the food that we eat every single day than it is in our forests, Mr. Speaker. But they want to talk about this kind of stuff. It's all about a witch hunt. It's all about a boogeyman. It's all about science that they do not agree with, Mr. Speaker. So they try to pick facts and do little things like this to try to scare people, Mr. Speaker. But at the end of the day, our responsibility is to make sure that the people of New Brunswick are safe. The Minister of Natural Resources talked about how much glyphosate is used, and we're